Revenge films.
I go to work every day during rush hour using the crowded trains. And that was one of the things that bothered me in life. The reason was because there were many cases of sexual assault during this time on the train. For women, sexual assault is a huge danger, but it's very frightening for innocent men as well. The testimony of the victim is what's valued most in these cases. If they blame you for sexual assault, it's hard to deny it and prove your innocence. If they make you the culprit despite not doing it, you'll never be accepted in society anymore. Men use the crowded trains every morning to go to work despite these dangers. There was a guy who I always went to work with. He was my junior, but he was puppy-like, and I took good care of him. On the train we got on every day to go to work, sexual assault did happen, but some were wrongly arrested for something they didn't do. When there were women who were actually sexually assaulted, there were some women who took advantage of it and lied to get compensation money from men. So the two of us got scared when a woman stepped onto the train. Hoping we'd be able to spend our time on the train peacefully, I was talking to my junior when two female high school students ran towards the train and hopped onto it just before the doors closed. Their blouses were open wide, barely hiding their breasts with mini skirts, and they looked like those types of gals. During this time of the morning, there were train cars dedicated to just women, so most women used that car. And usually it was less crowded than other parts of the train. So I thought it would be better for them to use that car. I was having bad feelings about this situation. One of the girls was complaining how crowded the train was and smelled of old people, but she was looking around as if she was looking for a target. At that moment, I think I made eye contact with her. For some reason, I felt a danger signal ring in my mind, and I quickly looked away. After passing a few stations while I tried my best not to look in their way, the train was getting more crowded. When I looked up, I realized that the girl was standing right in front of me with her back to me. I didn't know how she managed to come so close to me, and I already had a bad feeling as soon as we made eye contact. But when the train made a curve making us lose balance, the high school girl screamed, and as she pointed at me,
"He touched me and sexually assaulted me! So gross!"
she said. After hearing her say that, everyone in the train car stared in my direction. I obviously didn't do it, and I had to speak up that I was innocent. But it was as if the cold stares of the other people on the train froze my mouth and I couldn't say a thing. Cold sweat was trickling down my back and I was having difficulty breathing. My heart was beating faster and faster. It's all over. I never thought my life would make a fall just because of this. While I prepared myself for my fate, my junior yelled in a voice that echoed through the train car, "My senior would never do that! I bet she's mistaking him for someone else or planning to deceive us. Either way, he's innocent, so you better apologize to him."
Huh? What the hell? My feelings are hurt because he assaulted me. It's obvious that he should pay me money for compensation.
Then tell me how he did that to you. The girl glanced at my hand when he shouted that to her, and she looked shocked. The elderly man was having a hard time carrying heavy bags, so he held his bags for him and his own bag in the other hand. If he ever tried to touch you, he'd have to put either of the bags down. First of all, who would ever carry the elderly man's bag out of kindness when he was planning to sexually assault someone? He said on behalf of myself, who was losing my calm. The two girls were blaming me for sexually assaulting them, but the two of them were now eyeing each other as if to say things were turning out the way they didn't expect. I was disappointed in myself, but I felt like my junior's words really saved me. And I felt like my heart would pop out of my mouth in seconds, but I was starting to regain my calm. My junior continued, "Just apologize to him already. I don't know what really happened, but it's definitely true that you caused trouble to someone innocent. His life might have been ruined because of you two."
Huh? Why do we have to apologize? It's his fault for standing in a misleading position.
Then a man standing near me told us that the gal approached me in a very unnatural way in the first place. It was as if we were on a bed of nails, but people insisted that we talk about it after we get off the train, so we had to get off at the next stop. After we got off, we called the station staff and were explaining what happened when another station staffer approached us. "Yo, you two! Are you trying to take advantage of innocent salarymen again?" he said. As soon as they heard his voice, they clearly looked panicked, explaining, "Oh no," and "Gosh!" Then I found out all of the truth behind this case. "Are you trying to deceive innocent people again?" According to the station staff, these girls have been claiming to be sexually assaulted in this time of the morning in the train numerous times. And because all of the cases ended with them receiving settlement money, it was mostly likely that they were after the money. I bet the two gals knew things were turning in an unfavorable direction, so as soon as the next train came into the station, they ran towards it.
We'll let you off the hook this time.
And they ran away. The station staff was about to chase after them, but rather than doing so, I knew that they'll do the same thing again unless we talked to their parents. So I asked him for more information about the girls. Now I had information about which school they went to and who they were. So firstly, I called the school and told them what happened in detail. To our surprise, they went to a school for intelligent kids. So the school took this case seriously and quickly dealt with it. I bet the school also didn't want people to find out that their students had been deceiving innocent men for money. With my junior, we went to visit their school where the girls, their parents, and teachers waited a few days after the incident. As soon as we entered the guest room, the gals glared at us with an intimidating demeanor.
What are you thinking? Do you know what we had to go through because of you?
Then their parents, who were standing next to them, yelled back, "Excuse me? How many innocent people have you been deceiving, you little brats? You almost ruined their lives. You better apologize to them on your knees." The girls were intimidated by the father's yells, and they went silent. Then the parents of the girls bowed deeply towards me and apologized, claiming that they'll pay me compensation money as well. Things were working perfectly for the girls up until now, so I bet they never expected things would turn out this way. In the end, they were blaming each other for starting this, and they were making a fuss, screaming at each other. But we decided to leave because there was nothing else we had to do there. A month later, I heard that the two girls were kicked out of school for their inappropriate actions. Now that their crimes went public through this incident, the school was looking for the innocent victims who were blamed for things they never did, and they planned to take responsibility for what happened. All the compensation money they received and the compensation money they had to pay for wrongly accusing the victims were going to be paid by their parents for the time being. But they would be made to pay it back in the future for the rest of their lives. Regarding this incident, I'm very disappointed in myself. But I'm very thankful for my junior who spoke up and protected me. So when I said thanks as I bowed my head, "Come on, you always cover for my mistakes and lack of talent every day. What I did is definitely not enough to return you the favor." He laughed. I'm so glad that my junior saved me from the situation that almost ruined the rest of my life. I guess I'll treat him to a delicious meal next time.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.